Hello and welcome back to another on Wrestling and to another edition of AEW Collision Out of 10. And there's a lot of stuff advertised for this week's Collision show, including Bandido versus Jolistico, FTR versus The Paragon, and much more. But we kick things off with Swerve Strickland making his entrance for a promo, but his match wasn't supposed to happen until later. The Young Bucks came out and said his match would be taking place right away, though, when he wasn't even ready in his wrestling gear. Nick and Match watched the match from the stairs as the match got going. Lee Johnson tips Swerve so Christian could get an early advantage. The Vanilla Baby kept bending the rules to maintain the upper hand, but Strickland eventually rebounded and hit a neck breaker on the apron. A fun match at a quick pace, but it was also predictable as it gets. Nobody expected Blake Christian to stand a chance against Swerve. Swerve picked up the win and stared daggers at the Bucks until Johnson attacked him. Swerve took him down quickly, but then Nick and Matt stormed the ring and double team in. Omega came out to even the odds and helped drive his former best friends out of the ring. But yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I think a predictable start with the Young Bucks healing at antics. But yeah, we all got what we expected. Before our next match was Tony Storm versus Queen Armanata, and Armanata's fresh off a return from injury and was given a big opportunity facing Storm this week. After they had a couple of exchanges, Storm suckered Armanata in with the offer of a handshake that turned into a headlock. The Queen showed off some of her mat wrestling skills in this match, but there was a few moments that showed a lack of chemistry before the break. During picture-in-picture, they upped the physicality a bit to make it feel more competitive. The second half of this bout was much better than the first. Both women hit some big moves and made it feel important, especially for Armanata. So the champion picked up the win with Storm's area, crushing her hopes of a title shot in the process. This was a little show, but turned into a fun and competitive match, and obviously no shock with the result. 6 out of 10. Max Caster then came out for yet another open challenge and mocked the crowd while pretending to be popular like always. His challenger was none other than Hologram, and Caster went after him with a clothesline, but Luchador ducked and started running the ropes. Even with significant size and power advantage, Caster couldn't build any momentum, and Hologram hit the portal bomb with a quick win. We didn't get much of anything here, but we did go what was pretty good. Hologram's a special talent who was going to have a good run in AEW if he can stay healthy. But yeah, wasn't really much more to this. I've got to be honest, 5 out of 10. We then got Top Flight versus CRU in a tornado tag action. And yeah, after initial wheel, CRU regrouped at ringside before trying to rush the ring. It didn't work and Top Flight took them down for a 2. Once they started using weapons like kendo sticks and chairs, CRU took control as the show went to a break. Matches like this have a high level of chaos, so you lose some of the flow of a normal tag bout, but you gain a lot more intensity and violence. An exciting match, but it lacks some of the high-flying excitement we expect from these teams. They still utilise some big spots, but not the way you would in a traditional match. That being said, it's still highly entertaining just because all 4 of these guys are fantastic athletes capable of doing great things. CRU were able to get the win after Top Flight became distracted due to Layla Gray being knocked off the apron. A few problems isn't over, which is a good thing because these teams work well together. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Before NJ was back in action after away for a few months against a local talent, the match was so quick it's over before you could even think. Jay picked up an easy win, but while she celebrated when Penelope Ford came down to the ring, she attacked Jay and set her up to Megan Bain to attack her and leave her laying out. It looks like this is Bain's next feud. It was short and it did a good job of creating a nice feud, which I think, yeah, will definitely be intriguing to see how it plays out over the next few weeks. So yeah, short but effective. Before we got Bandido versus Jolistico for the ROH title, and yeah, the code of honour was barely observed before they locked up and started trading holds and takedowns. Jolistico clearly saw this as a big opportunity because he was bringing his full energy to this match. Whenever you get 2 lucha wrestlers in the ring together, the action's always going to be fast and frenetic. These 2 worked together well, putting a fun showcase to their skills. Bandido scored the win with his passing to 21 plex. Since Roosh and Beast Mortos were not at ringside, this is a clean match with a good finish. So yeah, good stuff. With the battle of the luchadors, Bandido obviously getting the ring was the right result, but I also think it benefited Jolistico taking part in a match like this. So yeah, good stuff. Before we got Roosh versus AR Fox, and yeah, El Toro Blanco immediately nailed Fox to take control with a forearm. He took Fox out of the ring and ran him into the barricade into a few different places. The ref tried to get him to bring it back to the ring, but Roosh kept hitting knee strikes to the face. Fox began to make a comeback once they got back into the ring, but it didn't last long. He just couldn't match the level of aggression of the former ROH champ brought to the ring. Roosh got the victory with running knee shot to end a short but energetic match. But yeah, good to see Roosh getting back in the ring with a solid win here. Yeah, decent enough match, 6 out of 10. Before we got the Paragon versus FTR in our main event, and Stokely was with his new clients ringside. All 4 of these men are known for their technical ability, but Kyle O'Reilly stood out as the best striker in the match. All 4 guys can throw a punch, but nobody hits a kick like O'Reilly. The Paragon had control for most of it. When we returned, FTR were beginning to mount more offense. They used steel steps and ring apron to injure Roddy's leg. This was a hard-fought match to help solidify their heel turn. They fell right back into their bunny patterns whether they were in control. A solid main event from bell to bell. All 4 men brought energy, but Carlo was a standout. But FTR won with a spike pile drivers for him. Adam Cole came out afterwards with Daniel Garcia, and yeah, they both chased FTR and taken away. Garcia grabbed the mic and said he's going to torment FTR. So yeah, a really intriguing feud coming out there, and I thought it topped off a really decent match as well to close off the collision. And yeah, I think when we get Cole and Garcia in the ring as well, it's going to go up a level too. So yeah, 7 out of 10, great stuff. Overall, AEW Collision gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I thought, yeah, it's a pretty solid episode of Collision. Nothing really major, but I thought a really good main event. And yeah, some intriguing storylines that we seem to be building on the show going forward. So yeah, on the whole, I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.